Hello everyone, welcome to Students Point. This is 10th of August and today we are going to see 11 very important questions. Today's video is going to be very important, so everyone pay your attention till the end. And to get PDF of all these videos, you can join us on Telegram by writing the channel's name Students Point. You can also follow us on Instagram by writing the username The Students Point. So let's begin. But if you are finding these videos useful, don't forget to like the video and do share the video with your friends and loved ones to contribute in the growth of the channel. So let's begin. But first we will see a question. Everyone has to try to answer this question in the comment section. Answering the questions correctly and regularly is important as it will act as a feedback for me and I will get an idea that whether whatever I am teaching you are getting or not. And it will make classes more interactive and keep your enthusiasm level at highest. So let's begin. Let's see the question. Loya Jirga, which is a mass gathering, is prevalent in. These are the options. Read the options carefully, recall what you have read, then answer it. Let's begin. But first we have to relook at the articles which we have discussed last day. Last day we have discussed that UPSC new chairman has been appointed. So the options were Article 316, 319, 321, 322. So let's see in detail what were those articles. Article 316 is about appointment and term of office of members and chairman of UPSC, and they are appointed by President of India. And please appreciate this fact that all the articles mentioned here are not only related for UPSC but also for SPSC. And Article 319 is concerning prohibition as to holding of offices by members of commission on ceasing to be such members. So in Constitution of India there are certain conditions, and after completion of those conditions one person cannot be reappointed at that post. For instance, if someone has already served as chairman of UPSC, he cannot be reappointed to that post. And Article 321 of the Constitution provides power to extend functions of Public Service Commission to others. So as and when required, UPSC can perform functions of some state level and union territories as well. And Article 322 deals with expenses of Public Service Commission. So in case of UPSC, expenses of UPSC is charged on Consolidated Fund of India. What is the meaning of charged expenditure on Consolidated Fund of India? This means that all the expenditure incurred by UPSC is not subject to voting or annual vote of Parliament. It will automatically charged on CFI and there is no requirement for voting of Parliament. While in case of a state Public Service Commission, the expenses are charged on Consolidated Fund of State. So I hope you will remember it. So let's begin now. The first question. International Day of World's Indigenous People for World Tribal Day is being observed on. So it is being observed every year on 9th of August. So here C is the right answer. International Day of World's Indigenous People, also called as World Tribal Day, is being observed on 9th of August, and this year's theme is COVID-19 and Indigenous Peoples' Resilience. The date recognizes the first meeting of United Nations Working Group on Indigenous Population in Geneva in 1982. Next question now. NDRF has how many battalions at present? So earlier it had 8 battalions but now it has 12 battalions. So here D is the right answer. And all the 12 battalions are located in Assam, West Bengal, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh and Arunachal Pradesh. I repeat these states' name once again. These are located in Assam, West Bengal, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh and Arunachal Pradesh. And if you will carefully analyze these locations and these states, most of these states either suffer from flood or from regular volcanoes and other disasters. That is why they are located at the point so that they can quickly respond to any emergency like situation. And each battalion has a sanctioned strength of 1150 rescuers who caters to particular states as their area of responsibility. And NDRF gets personnel and officers on deputation from Central Armed Police Forces, which includes forces from CRPF, BSF and others, for a period of 7 years. And after serving for 7 years, these personnel go back to their forces. And NDRF was created in the year of 2006 under National Disaster Management Act 2005. And NDRF functions under Ministry of Home Affairs and it is headed by Director General. And if you have not joined the test series yet, let me tell you that we organize monthly current affairs test series for every month on 15th and afterwards. The test is organized for 7 subjects, which include all the related topics in that month for polity, economy, international news, science and technology, environment, history and culture, and other small topics are covered in miscellaneous. And in this test, we not only try to cover the questions of current affairs, but also all the related and applied topics, which include topics of statics and general studies portions as well. So this helps you to prepare in a thorough manner, in a comprehensive manner for your examinations. And you will be in a position to solve not only questions of current affairs in your examinations, but also the applied questions in the examinations, because the trend has been increasing. In many examinations, they are not only now asking current affairs questions directly, but they are linking indirectly it to static portions. So I am preparing this test series with lots of research and lot of studies on each and every topics and their related topics, so that each corners of a topic may be covered comprehensively, and you will reach to a position where you can not only solve questions of current affairs but also the applied portions as well. And the test first will be organized on website, whereon you will get a real-time experience. You will have to solve a stipulated number of questions in a given period of time, and you will get your score quickly just after submitting your test after taking all the questions. You will also get a comparative analysis that how you performed and how other aspirants who have been taking the test since last month are performing. You will also get all the PDFs with all the explanations and answers of each and every questions in the Telegram as well. And there are 3 plans to subscribe to. You can subscribe to either of the plan. The first plan is for 1 month, which costs ₹79. The second plan is for 3 months, which costs only ₹219. And the third plan is for 6 months, which costs only ₹420. So you can subscribe to either of the plan by pressing on the link which will be provided in the comment section as well as in the description box. Tap on the link and subscribe to either of the plan. But after subscribing, don't forget to send your confirmation mail here on pointstudent2020@gmail.com. I repeat it once again, pointstudent2020@gmail.com. Only few days are left, so do it, hurry, enroll yourself as quickly as possible, as the tests are going to be organized on 15th and afterwards. So let's begin the next question. Envision mission of Europe will be launched to. So Envision mission of Europe will be launched to Venus. So here B is the right answer. And the mission would help scientists to understand relationships between its geological activity and the atmosphere of Venus. It is also to investigate why Venus and Earth took such different evolutionary paths. And the mission will be studied in collaboration with NASA. It is scheduled to be launched in the year of 2032, and topic of Venus and all the missions related to it are important because recently a study has been published in Nature Geoscience. It found that Venus is still geologically active. Let's have some brief idea about Venus. Venus is also known as Earth's twin, and it is the second most nearest planet to Sun. For instance, if this is Sun and here is Mercury, then after Mercury Venus lies and thereafter Earth lies. So Venus is second nearest planet to Sun in our solar system, and it is the hottest planet in the solar system, and its extreme temperatures and acidic clouds make it an unlikely place for life. Its sun rises in the west. In general, sun rises in the east for most of the planets, but for Venus, sun rises in the west and sets in the east. And like Mercury, it has no moon and no rings. Next question now. Consider the following statements about Tabletop Airport. You must have heard recently the disheartening news of crash of Air India flight. So the question is related to that. It is an airport located and built on top of a plateau or hilly surface with one or both ends of runway overlooking a drop. This statement is correct. So it is basically built over a plateau or hilly surface, and almost one or more than one. For instance, in this case where the accident happened, 3 of its area were overlooking a drop. So this is correct. And Lengpui based in Mizoram, Simla and Kullu based in Himachal Pradesh, Pakyong in Sikkim, Mangaluru in Karnataka, Kozhikode and Kannur in Kerala are some examples of tabletop airport. So this is also correct. So here both of these statements are correct. C is the right answer. and there is no such term as tabletop airport in any international civil aviation organization's technical document. However, India's statutory aviation body, which is Directorate General of Civil Aviation, refers to these airports in this manner by way of highlighting safety measures during operations to these runways. And there are not many differences between normal airport and tabletop airport. The only basic difference is that these airports are built over top of a plateau or a hill. Next question now. Kavakaz 2020 Strategic Command Post Exercise will be organized in. So Kavakaz 2020 Strategic Command Post Exercise will be organized in Russia. So here A is the right answer. And all members of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, including India, China, Pakistan, are likely to participate in it. Next question now. Consider the following statements about simplified guidelines for marketing of petrol and diesel. Let's see. An entity desirous of seeking authorization for either retail or bulk. Please note on these words that either retail or bulk must have minimum net worth of rupees 250 crore at the time of making application. This statement is correct. And if a person wishes to get the right of both retail as well as bulk sale of petrol and diesel, then that person or that entity will have to have minimum net worth of rupees 500 crore at least. Then that person or that entity can get the authorization for both retail as well as bulk. So here both of the statements are correct again. C is the right answer. And Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas has simplified the guidelines for grant of authorization for bulk and retail marketing of motor spirit, which include petrol and high-speed diesel. The simplified guidelines aims at increasing participation of private sector. Next question now. Consider the following statements about Invistats India 2020 report. It has been released recently by National Statistical Office. This is correct. It found that highest number of heat wave were recorded in Gujarat, which was 20 days. No, it is wrong. The highest number of heat wave were recorded in Rajasthan, which was 20 days, not in Gujarat. And it was followed by Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, which witnessed 13 days each. So this is correct, but Gujarat is not correct. It is Rajasthan which has witnessed the highest number of heat wave, followed by UP and Uttarakhand. So here only first statement is correct. So B is the right answer. Some key findings of this report, let's see. After declining for 2 years, the average number of heat wave days increased 82.6% year on year to 157 incidents of heat waves in 2019. And year 2019 witnessed the third highest number of heat waves in the decade after 254 days of heat wave in 2010 and 189 heat wave days in 2012. And acute respiratory infection led to death of 3,740 in 2018, which was the highest in 6 years. And the highest number of deaths due to acute respiratory infection were reported in West Bengal. While among the metropolitan cities in 2018, highest particulate matter of size of 10 or less than 10 was reported in Delhi, which was almost 243. And tube well and hand pumps remained the primary source of drinking water in rural areas in 2018 with 53.8%. Now this statement has relevance for UPSC aspirants particularly. See, there are different natures of questions. The topic of current affairs remains the same. However, the nature of questions changes with different examinations. For instance, in examinations like in EPFO, in examinations like CDS or SSC, you may witness questions like this, that in which state there was highest number of deaths due to acute respiratory infection. Such question you can also see in UPSC, but in UPSC you will particularly see questions of a statement based. So such questions we have to keep in mind, but for UPSC aspirants you have to pay primary attention on these statements, and quoting these key findings of such reports will also make your answers more presentable to the viewer. So here this statement we have seen, and piped water, tap, public tap or a standpipe was the primary source in urban areas with almost 65% of the share. So note the difference here, that in rural areas tube well and hand pump still remain a major source of drinking water, while in urban areas it is piped water, tap or public tap or standpipe. While in Daman Diu, Daman Diu, in terms of urban areas, has the highest share of households, which is almost around 40.4%, who chooses to bottled water as principal source of drinking water. Next question now. Which state has the highest percentage of slum population to urban population ratio as per the InvStats India 2020 report? So it is Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh has the highest percentage of slum population out of the total urban population as per the InvStats 2020 report. And if you have not liked the video yet, do like it and do share the video with your friends and loved ones. Next question now. Which of the following in million plus cities has the highest number of registered motor vehicles? So it is Delhi. Delhi has the highest reported or registered motor vehicles, and out of total 7.3 crore registered motor vehicles, Delhi has 1.02 crore. It is followed by Bengaluru. Bengaluru has 68.3 lakh registered vehicles. Next question now. Mukhyamantri Doodh Upahar Yojana has been launched by Haryana government, and under this scheme, fortified flavored skimmed milk will be provided to children aged between 1 to 6 years of age in Anganwadi centers along with pregnant and lactating mothers. It has also launched Mahila Evam Kisori Samman Yojana for adolescent girls and women between 10 to 45 years of age. It will provide them free sanitary napkins. Next question now. OHE inspection application has been launched by OHE inspection has been launched by Indian Railways, and it will help to quickly find out the problems and will get it fixed as soon as possible. Now let's see some more facts. Mahinda Rajapaksa took oath as new Prime Minister of Sri Lanka after landslide victory of his party at general elections held recently. He will be administered oath by his younger brother Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who is President of Sri Lanka, and his leader of political party named as Sri Lanka Podujana Peramunna. And Prime Minister Modi has launched financing facility of rupees 1 lakh crore under Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. The fund will catalyze creation of post-harvest management infrastructure and community farming assets like cold storage, collection centers and processing units. So I hope you find the video useful. Do like and do share the video, subscribe and press the bell icon. Wait for the upcoming video. Until then, stay safe and see you all again next day.